Well, you see, while he's tuning up, he has to tune up between every song because he's weird about it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to regale y'all with a story. And anyway, there was this guy, and he was a little guy, real little bitty feller, and he wanted to get a job at a logging camp. And so he goes up to the boss at the logging camp and says, "I'd like to apply for a job, please." And the boss at the lumber camp says, "Well, you can't cut down trees. You're way too little and skinny and all that kind of stuff. You couldn't do that." And he says, "Oh, yes, I can. I'll prove it to you if you just give me a saw or an axe or something." And the guy says, "Well, okay, I got to see this." And he gives him an axe, and they go out back, and the guy just cuts down 1,000,000 trees right there in like no time at all. And the boss was standing there and looking, and he couldn't believe it. He couldn't hardly believe it at all. And he said, "Well, I guess you really can cut down trees, but where did you ever learn to cut down trees like that?" And he said, "Well, did you ever hear of the Sahara forest?" You see, a friend of mine was out hunting in the woods one day, and he was hunting for deer, but it wasn't deer season, so I guess you'd have to call that poaching. So he was out poaching for deer, and he saw a deer, and he took careful aim, and he fired and killed the poor thing. And then he trots on over and grabs it and throws it over his shoulder and heads on out of the woods with it. And just as he was getting out of the woods over by the road where his pickup truck was parked, the game warden, who had been waiting for him to come out because he saw his pickup truck and knew what was happening, stops him and says, "Hey, buddy, I caught you. You're poaching." And the guy says, "What? Well, how's that?" He says, "You're poaching, man, killing deer out of season." And he said, "What, my good man, what do you mean?" And he said, "Well, you got a deer over your shoulder." And my friend said, "What? Ah, get off!"